everybody, I'm Web Chef Kimberly Turner, and today I'm going to show you how to cook a healthy crock pot chicken stew. Now I have 6 skinless chicken thighs. You can use boneless as well. I've just taken the skin off myself, but you can purchase them boneless and skinless. If you leave the bone in, it has much more flavor. I've been preheating my crock pot for the last 20 minutes or so, and I'm going to put my chicken in right now to kind of help it move along before I get everything else prepared. Since these guys have no fat and no skin, I'm going to add just a hint of olive oil to the bottom. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of slather that around so that the chicken doesn't stick to the bottom right now. In goes my chicken. You could use drummies, you could use chicken breasts. Let's put that lid on while we're preparing some other things. I have between 3 and 4 cups of chicken stock. You could use water, you could use chicken stock, or you could use any other kind of broth you feel like. I'm also going to add 1/4 cup of mashed chickpeas. I've just taken them right out and mashed them with a potato masher, and I'm going to use that to thicken our stew instead of using flour, because flour is just carbs, and this is actually going to give us not only the thickening agent we need, but it's also going to give us a little bit more protein and a little bit more flavor. I'm just going to let that sit here. I'm using warm chicken broth, so that's going to help our dish along as well. Now let me prelude this with, it's late at night here. I'm making this right now so that in the morning we can go and tailgate and do what we have to do, and this is going to be ready for us when we get in. So let's go ahead and put our vegetables in. I have 4 medium-sized carrots cut into bite-sized pieces. You may leave the skin on, it has more nutrition, or you can peel it. In it goes. 2 stalks of celery cut the same way. I'm adding about 1 cup of turnip into diced pieces. I'm also going to add 1/4 cup of white wine to my broth. This is optional. Wine has quite a few calories. However, the calories are carried in the alcohol, and that's going to dissipate as things cook. So you may decide to or may not. So in goes my liquid over top of my veggies and my chicken with the chickpea mash. I have a bay leaf, 1 whole clove for flavor. I have 1/4 teaspoon of mustard seeds and 1/4 teaspoon of chili flakes. I have 1 teaspoon of sea salt, 1/2 teaspoon of poultry seasoning, 1 teaspoon of pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika. I have 1 teaspoon of fresh thyme. I have 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 tablespoon of freshly minced parsley, and 1 teaspoon of fresh dill. It already smells good, and it's only just begun. So we're gonna stir this through, make sure that all the spices are evenly combined. Put the lid on. We're gonna turn that on a low setting, and this guy is gonna go for about 8 hours, 8 to 9 hours. Depends on how long you need it to go for. So it's gonna go on low. This is gonna be ready for us in the morning. If you want, you can stir intermittently whenever you walk into the kitchen if you're around. If not, it's gonna be bubbling and ready to go for tomorrow. All right, it's next day. It's about 8-9 hours into it, and we're about ready to eat. So I'm gonna put 3/4 cup of frozen peas in here, and I'm gonna let these guys heat up for the next 10 or 15 minutes. Stir these guys through. If you see that your liquid is getting lower, just add a little bit more. Try and be gentle while stirring, because if you're using chicken with the bones in, you don't want all those chicken pieces to fall apart. You want those chicken pieces at the bottom to stay intact. So just be gentle when you're stirring. Stir the top part mostly. And we'll be ready to eat in about 15 minutes. All right, this should be ready. It smells fantastic. It smells so savory and homey and cozy in here. Let's just stir this up and look at it. Yeah, everything's good. I tested one of the vegetables earlier, and they're nice and tender. You just have to make sure of that. Let's do a quick taste test for seasoning. Oh, that is delicious. You can tell the difference between things you quickly stew and things you long stew. All right, let's serve some of this up. It looks amazing. Oh, get some of that chicken and lots of the veggies. You have lots of fiber in here, high protein, lean protein, tons of flavor and home cooked goodness. You want to try and be gentle lifting the chicken out so it stays whole, intact, like that. Beautiful. Now look at that. Gorgeous chicken just ready for you. Gonna garnish that with a little bit of fresh parsley just to make it look amazing. And you are ready to go. What a gorgeous, healthy chicken crock pot stew. Exactly. Perfect for for lunchtime if you do it late at night, or right after work if you put it in the morning. Absolutely fantastic. Let's try some. Very inexpensive, yes. And you can cook healthy with a low fat. The chicken is so tender and so flavorful. It's picked up all the flavors of those beautiful vegetables, the carrots, the turnips, the peas even. Oh, that is awesome. It's not overdone, it's just perfect. So that's how you do it. That's how you make a healthy chicken crock pot stew. You can do it too. So make sure you stay tuned for more recipes that are high in fiber and protein and low in carbs.